All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. We are back out here on this waterway property, and we've still got a lot of work left to do. So back out here, I got a good bit done yesterday. We got the waterfront right over here cleaned up. If you guys saw that, right along the waterway, turned out beautiful. Owner's happy with that. Now we're over here, so we got like a 10-acre, what he calls, what's on the survey map is a conservation easement. I don't even know what that is, never heard of it, but we just can't take down any trees bigger than about 8 inches in here. That's basically what it means. It's been mulched before. I can tell that in some spots down there where I cleared out the first day I was here. I could tell all that had been mulched before. He's gonna get most of that with the bush hog, but over here on the right side, we got a lot of bigger material over here that he cannot get with the bush hog. So we got the Komatsu, and we got the TMC Kinsella THI 100, and I'll show you guys what we're dealing with, and we'll get started. All right, so got the owner's Komatsu out here, and like I said, we got the TMC THI 100 on this machine. And again, if you guys are liking what you're seeing with this TMC Kinsella, you can contact my friends over at CC Equipment. They're a full-line dealer of all this awesome TMC Kinsella stuff. Skid steers, mini skids, any size excavator, PTO tractor, we pretty much got it all. And if you're outside CC's area, you can contact Frank Hollowell. He's our national dealer rep, and he can get you hooked up. So over here on the right side of this easement, you can see that a lot of this taller stuff the owner cannot get with the bush hog, and some of this crappier stuff like this dead stuff, these China berry trees and all this crap, all that's gonna go. And then you can see it gets real tall back there into that corner. That's just stuff you just can't really get with a bush hog. So we're just gonna work down this line, start just annihilating all of this crap until we get into the smaller stuff that he can take out with the bush hog. Just knock all this down for him, make his life easy with the bush hog. So if you guys didn't see before, I know I wasn't really loving this machine for mulching, but I was able to get the dealer to come out here. They turned the pressures up on the machine, not the flow. They turned up the pressure, which gives you that recovery and gives you that torque in the mulcher. And now this thing is a whole new animal, and it eats. It really is a really good machine now for mulching. So I've been very happy with that, and haven't seen any issues with overheating or anything like that with it since they did it. The dealer had to come out and do it all to spec and everything and keep it within warranty. So they did all that, and yeah, she's eating now. So we're gonna eat all this stuff down with no problem, and we'll get to mulching. right, guys, we're making our way through all this bunch of vines and crap on the back end of this section here. This is just a bunch of nonsense back here. It's just really tall stuff that he can't get with the bush hog. But it's a mess. Looks like there's a road right here too, and he said there was like a path or a road right here. Let me take this. Yeah, there's some kind of a little path right here. And it kind of looked that way on the map. Kinda. And we're getting kind of close to the end of the line here. I'm trying to look where I'm at on the Onyx. Yeah, we're not quite to the end of the easement where it blocks off, but we're not far either. And I wanted to go up here and clear all of this hill right here, but that's a whole bunch of concrete right in there. And I'll show you guys at the end of the day. We'll walk up in there. So if he wants to clear all that out, we'll have to put the bucket on the excavator and grub all that out. And then I'll have to like pile it up over here into this field and maybe bring the skid steer over here and grind it up like that. Excavators are great for grinding stuff like this when it's standing and it's just a bunch of vines and mess. Honestly, in my opinion, it's easier to grind this stuff with the excavator when it's like this tall kind of viney spaghetti stuff, because I can get it down on the ground a lot easier than having to get it down with the skid steer. Like I can just take the boom like that and just push this crap down and get it down on the ground, knock these things down, just kind of get that crap down, pull it down. But once you rip it all out and get it into a kind of a pile, the skid steer is a lot better way to go. But we'll just have to see what he wants to do. I'm not really sure. The owner's kind of had me all over the place on this property. I think what I'm going to do, I don't know how much further we're going to go. I'm going to kind of clear this out right here to my right and get him some access with the tractor to see if he wants to. Yeah, I'm looking on Onyx right now. There's definitely a little bit of a road or a trail. Probably hasn't been cleared in years, but it's through there. I'm just going to open this up right here. I'm not sure how much further back he wants to go, because over there on the left side there's an actual definitive line of trees where you can see where the conservation easement stops, but over here it's like not quite as defined. It could be that tree line that's right there, but I don't know. But it's probably pretty close. I'm gonna clean up this corner right here. Make sure all this is. But I'm telling you, man, this excavator with this TMC head, now that we've got the pressures turned up, I mean, it just goes through this stuff. Like before, it would bog down really bad and I'd have to wait, blah, blah, blah. Now this thing's a real killer. It really is a killer. thinking since this machine was in rental, they may have turned the pressures down. A lot of times the rental guys will do that. They'll turn the pressures down on the machines. I think one of the main reasons they do that is because once you start messing with the pressures, you kind of, if you don't know what you're doing, and sometimes you don't know who you're renting to, you take a little bit bigger risk of bending those cylinders when you turn the pressure up. But it really helps the mulcher out when it comes to getting that torque and that recovery. So much better operation here with the mulcher. Much better. Yeah, that's just a big hill of concrete right there. And you can see, like, right there, you can see it sticking out of the ground right past those vines. It's everywhere in there. It's all sticking up out of the ground. So we're not going to be mulching up in there. But what I am going to do is probably go back over here to this side over here. I'm not far from being where he could get into the where it get kind of some of that with the bush hog. So I guess we'll just keep working on that. And see where we get by the end of the day. We got a few hours left. Oh, let me get out of these vines. I got the boom all in the vines. There we go. Uh-oh. I left the blade down. We got a few hours left to go, so we'll see what we get done. Stay tuned. All right, this is looking good. Got all this cleared out where all this tall stuff was, and he can get that kind of stuff with the bush hog. Wanted to clear this hill, but this hill is nothing but concrete, all concrete. So I'll walk up in here a little bit. It's all up in here. See all that right there? Come on. Damn privet. All concrete. Now I'm in the privet. But yeah, I don't know how long that's been there. I don't know if they dumped it when they did the bridge over here or what. But it's a big old pile of concrete, just like that pile over there. So, but all this is mulched down, looking good, and just a bunch of crap he couldn't get with the bush hog. So I'm not sure if we're done here or not. I went ahead and walked the machine all the way back up to the road front where it was dropped off originally. So got it out of here. But all this turned out really well. Owner's super happy so far. So we'll see what else we got to do back up in here. But I thought it turned out pretty well. And then if you can get the rest of that, most of that with the bush hog, that's gonna turn out really nice. Really nice. A lot of it's nice and open, like right in there. That's already kind of open in there. It's a really pretty stand of trees. Once it gets mulched out, it's gonna look a lot better, or bush hog down. So this turned out well. A lot of vines, good gosh. No shortage on the vines. But all this in here, there wasn't any trees in here. It was just a bunch of privet and chinaberry and a bunch of crap not worth saving, vines. So that looks good. Turned out nicely. So, all right guys, that was fun. More stuff to come. Stay tuned, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye everybody.